Hi there, students. Yesterday I made a video about words of criticism, words how to say that you are angry with someone, or to say bad things about something, or to criticize something. So today's words are all verbs. The first one is revile. The second is lambast. I noticed some dictionaries include an E in this word, which would make it lambast, but I prefer lambast. To disparage and to denounce. Okay? So the first word is to revile. Okay, this means to criticize, to say bad things about someone in an angry way, in a rude and abusive way. You know, perhaps when you're talking to someone and they get really angry and upset about something, and they start to talk to you angrily and rudely about something. This is to revile, when they are ranting and raving. Okay? So to revile is to criticize in an angry way, in an unpleasant way, to condemn strongly. Okay? So I was talking to a guy in the pub, and we started talking about immigration, and he started to revile the immigrants in the UK. He got angry and he said rude and unpleasant things about them. So eventually I stood up and left him to finish his drink on his own. To revile. Okay? To revile, to talk about something angrily, to criticize in an insulting way. Yeah? It's not nice to be reviled. It's where people talk about you angrily and badly. He's a really bad man. He's a real bastard. I really hate him. To revile. Okay, the next word is to lambast or lambast. Okay, this is to criticize or to say things, nasty things about someone that are very strong. To criticize harshly. Yeah? So, the press were lambasting the Prime Minister for his latest actions. Okay? You lambast particularly in a newspaper or in a public speech. Yeah? And by lambasting, you're saying strong things. You're saying very harsh or strong criticism. Although in lambast, you don't necessarily get angry and abusive like into revile. Okay? I made a mistake at work and my boss lambasted me in front of everybody. Okay? So he criticized me very harshly. He shouted at me. Yeah? He said that I was a very bad worker and I'd made a really stupid mistake. Okay? So, to lambast. Now, the next word is to disparage. Now, disparage is slightly different. If you disparage someone or something, you belittle it. You make it of less importance, or you make it out to be unimportant, insignificant. Yeah? To describe something as unimportant or weak or bad quality. Yeah? So, for example, my boss is always making disparaging comments about my work. Okay? He's making the importance less. He's considering my work insignificant. Okay? Normally when you revile or you lambast, you criticize directly. This is really bad. With disparage, you make comments that make the object of the disparagement or the disparaging comments look insignificant, of lesser rank, of lesser importance. So, John was disparaging my cooking. he was making disparaging comments. So he said, we had a much better example of this dish the other day at Joan's house. It might taste better with more salt. The cooking could have been better done. Okay? So he's slighting, he's insulting, but not directly what I have done. Okay? So it's a way of making something less important, reducing the importance or the good qualities of something in other people's eyes. Yeah? Making comments that make people think less of it, to disparage or to make disparaging comments. Finally, we have the verb to denounce. Okay, to denounce is to say publicly that you think something is bad, that you think it is evil, it is reprehensible. You are condemning it. But if you denounce something, you condemn it openly and publicly. Yeah? You can also use this verb to denounce, meaning to give information against. So, I will denounce you to the police if you carry on doing this. I will report you. When Henry VIII's daughter, Mary, was Queen of England, many of the Protestants were denounced. Okay? They were reported officially to the church as being Protestants as opposed to Catholics. But to denounce, the newspapers denounced the action of the government. They openly said, they openly printed that they thought the action of the government was evil. It was unreasonable. It was unfair. Yeah? So it's to make public something that you think is really bad. So let's go over these verbs again. To revile, to criticize angrily and rudely. Yeah? Those bloody bastards. To lambast, to criticize harshly, but maybe not getting angry and not being rude. So to say very strong, rude things. And this particularly happens in speeches and in the newspapers. To disparage, to belittle, to make something seem less important or less good or less wonderful than it really is. And finally, to denounce, to condemn something openly to everybody, saying that you think it is evil, it's immoral, it's wrong. Okay? So there you go. Revile, lambast, disparage, and denounce. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give it a rating. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.